Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We've got a major story breaking that has sent shockwaves through the political landscape. Former Minister Johnston Fernando and his son, Jerome Kenneth Fernando, are now facing serious charges over the alleged criminal misuse of government property. Let's dive into what's happening. The core of the issue revolves around accusations that a lorry and a driver belonging to Sathosa, the state-owned retail network, were used to transport ethanol for a private company. Now, this isn't just any company. Johnston Fernando's sons were directors of this very firm. Both Johnston and Jerome Fernando have been remanded in custody until January 9th by the Waltala Magistrate Escort. This is a significant development, and it's unfolding right now. So, how did this all come about? The Financial Crimes Investigation Division, or the FCID, is handling the case. They presented a report to the court detailing how Johnston Fernando, during his time as the Minister of Cooperatives and Internal Trade, allegedly facilitated this whole operation. It's claimed that he issued letters to the chairman of Sathosa, requesting a job appointment for the lorry driver involved in this incident. This driver, by the way, has not yet been arrested and is reportedly absconding. The charges are piling up. They include misappropriating government funds, specifically by paying the driver's salary out of the public purse. Then there's the criminal misappropriation of government property, which refers to using the Sathosa lorry for a private business. And finally, there are accusations of aiding and abetting the creation of forged documents. It seems the official records were manipulated to make it look like the lorry was being used for official ministry duties, when in reality, it was allegedly serving a private enterprise. This investigation is part of a much larger web of allegations. The FCID is looking into how vehicles and drivers from Lanka Sathosa were used for personal gain. But it gets even deeper. The private company at the center of this controversy is also under scrutiny for allegedly deceiving state officials. They are accused of obtaining licenses to import ethanol under the false pretense of producing perfumes and cleaning agents. The real purpose, investigators claim, was to produce alcohol, which would have defrauded the government of significant tax revenue. It's a multi-layered case with serious financial implications for the state. The whole thing was kicked off by an anonymous complaint received by the FCID back on November 12, 2015. Complaint flagged a private company in the Waltala area for importing ethanol using false information. This single tip has unraveled a complex investigation that has now reached the highest levels of past government. The police have presented evidence showing that this company, despite claiming to be in the business of perfumes and cleaning agents, never actually produced any such items. Let's look at a specific incident that investigators have highlighted. On June 8, 2012, a Sathosa lorry, driven by a man named Eswidana, was allegedly used to transport a massive 20,000 liters of ethanol. The fuel for this trip was also provided by Sathosa. According to the police, the private company never paid a single rupee for the use of this lorry. To cover their tracks, it's alleged that false records were created, claiming the lorry was on an official trip, transporting goods from Kilinoki to Colombo for Sathosa during that same period. With all this information, the police made a strong case in court, requesting that the suspects be remanded. They argued that because the investigation is still ongoing under the Public Property Act, releasing the suspects could hinder the process. The gravity of the charges under this act often makes it difficult to secure bail, as we saw in the magistrate's decision. Now, let's hear the other side of the story. The defense team, which includes President's Counsel Sampath Mendes and Senior Counsel Lakmo Ratnaik, argue forcefully in court. They stated that their clients, Johnston and Jerome Fernando, were arrested without sufficient evidence. They contended that simply recommending someone for a job appointment doesn't legally amount to aiding and abetting a crime. Furthermore, they argued that just because someone holds a director position in a company, it doesn't automatically mean they are complicit in any wrongdoing by that company. Their position was clear. There's not enough evidence to hold their clients, and they requested that they either be released on bail or dropped from the case altogether. After hearing arguments from both the prosecution and the defense, the magistrate made her decision. She considered all the facts presented, but ultimately ordered that the suspects be remanded until January 9th. The key reason cited was the ongoing investigation under the Public Property Act. The magistrate noted that no specific or compelling reasons had been presented by the defense to warrant granting bail under these circumstances. She has also instructed the FCID to present a progress report on their investigation on that same day. So where do we go from here? The next court date on January 9th will be crucial. We will be watching closely to see what new evidence the FCID brings forward and how the defense responds. This case involves a total of 7 suspects, including Johnston Fernando. As mentioned, the lorry driver, Samadwana, is still at large. The first suspect in the complaint, who was a director of the private company, had been previously arrested and released on bail. Along with Johnston and Jerome Fernando, the former Sathosa executive director Mohammed Zakir and former operations and transport manager Indika Ratnamalala have also been remanded. It's a complex case with many moving parts. This story raises important questions about accountability, the use of public resources, and the lines between public service and private interests. The allegations are serious, and the outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications. We will continue to follow every development and bring you the latest updates as they happen. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss anything. What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.